Hey everyone, Breaky CBK here, of course, and I'm going to be doing a new series that I'm looking forward to having some fun with. It is a champion spotlight, but a quick champion spotlight for you to get set information that you're looking for and get back into the game as soon as possible. So the intention of this is simply that. I want to get you enough information for this new champion that you may have just happened to open in Raid Shadow Legends, of course, and then give you the chance to start playing it with said information. So without further ado, I figure the best champion to kick this off with would be Relic Keeper. Now, as I said, the champion you happen to summon, well, Relic Keeper is a little unique in that sense. You can summon him from a shard if you get lucky enough. However, he also has the capability of being fused, and currently he's the only champion that you can fuse. They are going to be introducing more in the future. In fact, in a patch coming up soon, as I'm creating this video, will be happening. But currently, he is the only champion that can be fused for the purpose of actually dominating with him later on. And now, what is fusion exactly? So as you notice right there, I went to my champion or my summoning portal, and then there's this fusion button on the right-hand side that you should be able to click. Once you do so, it pulls up this screen, and a brief explanation of how this works. You have 4 champions down here that you need to fuse into this guy. He's happens to be called Justicar, and then once you have him, you join him with these other 3 champions to then fuse them into Relic Keeper. Now, how you go about obtaining these champions, all are farmable in the axe throughout the game. In fact, if you click on them, in this case the War Maiden, it'll let you know where you can find her. Of course, you can get her from shards if you're lucky, but in the case of Deadlands, that would be the place you need to farm for this champion. Not the greatest drop chance necessarily, but ideally after time you'll get them, you know, depending on your randomness, of course, like a lot of this game. And then once you have all 4 in this case down here, you need to then get them to level 30, and then you need to ascend them to level 3 as well. Once you have accomplished this, you then hit this fuse button, and then they will form into Justicar. Once you have Justicar, you can then go about farming these other 3 champions, and the same thing goes for them, but as you see, you need to get them to level 40, and then you need to 4-star ascend them as well as Justicar. Once you have all 4 of these, then this fuse button will be clickable. You click it, all of a sudden you have a Relic Keeper. There you go. Now you may be asking yourself, why the hell do I want to bother all that time getting a Relic Keeper? Well, in my opinion, and I know many others I've talked to, Relic Keeper is arguably one of the best champions that anyone will be able to get, specifically for the purpose of campaign. Campaign's very important because everything essentially goes through campaign, at least in the earlier parts of your account. Especially if you're a free-to-play account, it certainly does. You need to farm campaign to level up champions, to get artifacts, specific artifacts in some cases. Obviously you have the dungeons for that too, but it can help with that. And then also to complete all the quests that eventually get you those couple of sacred shards, doing it on hard and brutal. So you need a champion to help get you there. Relic Keeper is your man for that. Now let's take a look at his skills as to why that is the case. His first skill is Crusade. Crusade attacks one enemy. It grants him an extra turn if he kills them. So pretty basic when you first look at it, but it's the second part that truly makes Relic Keeper what he's all about. He's about that one-shot champion. The fact that he gets an extra turn when he kills something means in campaign, you set him up to at least go first before them, and then he'll be able to one-shot all of them and then advance on to the next round. That is the idea, at least. That is then in pair with Surging Strength, where it gives him a 50% increased attack buff for 4 turns. And by the way, it's on a 4-turn cooldown when you level it up, and you want to do that ASAP in my opinion. So it makes it a 4-turn cooldown, and then when you use the buff, it also grants him an extra turn. So you don't need to worry about buffing him up, then, oh, is he going to die in the meantime or get crowd controlled? No, he'll be able to go right away again, and it's a perfect setup for him. That then goes in with his passive ability, which is a more defensive side of it, but yet another ability that helps him be sustainable in campaign and even arena. I actually happen to run Relic Keeper in my main arena composition currently, made it to Gold 2, because of his one-shot capabilities, but also because of this. The fact he has this self-sustain makes him very powerful as well. The 15% continuous heal buff for 2 turns, and it's on a 3-turn cooldown. When you level it up, that is. So it starts at 5-turn cooldown. You want to level it up just like you want for Surging Strength. Again, cooldown level ups are definitely the best value you're going to get out of using skill tomes. That's another discussion, though. Then that sets up his aura, which is the ultimate finisher, really, as to why he's just so freaking good in campaign. You look at the number right there, it should explain itself. 40% more attack damage in campaign for himself as well as others that he's paired up with. You want to put this guy in the lead spot, and he will help you decimate campaign essentially. So that's the skill set explains why, and I think it should be self-explanatory at this point as to why he is so good in campaign. Ideally, he could just one-shot his way through in most of them, of course. He is a forest champion, as you notice, being the red mark here, the skull icon. So obviously, if you're going into for campaigns that involve spirit focus, or the green one, my mic here, then it might be a little bit of an issue, but enough, he should still be able to get there. Now, speaking of his gear as artifacts, this is what I would recommend. Personally, I have 4 set offense and 2 sets speed. Now, I'm running the speed set mainly because for the sake of arena. Like I said earlier, I like to run him in arena. I think you could try it out as well. He's not just only for campaign. And in arena, as you may know, speed is king. So get a couple of speed buffers around him. I also like to get him that 2-piece speed set to make sure he goes before the other team as much as I can and sets up to be able to one-shot them. And then a 4 offense. Now, if you just have no intention of running him in arena, you have a much better arena comp. You can go 4 or 6 offense, even in my opinion, and that would work out great. Now, I say offense because he is all about that attack percentage as long as you have the crit rate as close to 100% as you can get. So in my case, my gloves happen to be 50% crit rate, which as you can see down here, I have 95% crit throughout all the secondary stats as well through my gear. I mean, again, ideally you want to get 100% crit, but it's not always going to happen. You have to work with the artifacts that you get. In fact, you see I'm missing a necklace and a banner still. I'm having trouble with the spider dungeon, not going to lie. Anywho, that leads me to my chest piece. I run with the attack percentage chest piece. As I said earlier, he's about getting as much attack as possible. And that leads me to my boots. Now, there might be a lot of people that say, oh, you have speed boots, you're going to have the speed main stat. Not necessarily. And again, in my case, because he's already going first in campaign with his current set, and as long as you put speed buffers around him in arena, I think you can get away running with attack percentage boots. And that's what I've done here. I found some 5-star attack percentage boots, leveled them up, and I gotta say I've been enjoying them. He hits freaking hard. Over 30,000 damage in some cases with this single attack. And again, the idea that he then resets and gets an extra turn when he kills somebody, you can just imagine the damage that does. So you can tweak with this. You can try your own things. You can try speed boots if you like. That's completely up to you. If you are going to be running 6 offense, I would probably recommend running speed boots because, again, you need to make sure he goes before the others, at least in campaign, and that should ideally help make sure to get him there. So there you go. There's Relic Keeper. I hope that gave you a good idea of what to expect with this champion and why he is arguably one of the best campaign doers in the game, especially in the free-to-play accounts and earlier accounts in general. Get him. He is worth it 100%. You will no doubt enjoy it. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching this Relic Keeper Quick Spotlight.